Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into something many of us interact with daily. Coffee.
More than just a morning ritual, right?
Exactly. We're looking at the Global Coffee Market Trends and Outlook Report from August 2025.
Yep, fresh insights.
Our mission, to quickly get you up to speed on the latest shifts in coffee prices, global and local, what's driving them, and some pretty surprising trade and consumer stuff too.
Basically everything you need to know about your brew.
Okay, so diving right in. Globally, things looked a bit different on, let's see, August 13th, 2025. Prices actually dipped slightly.
Saw that. London Robusta down a tiny bit, like $1. New York Arabica dropped a bit more noticeably.
Right, about 5.5 cents. Seems
Yeah.
small, maybe, but it hints at bigger market forces, doesn't it? How quickly things can shift.
It really does. But what's fascinating here is the contrast.
Oh.
While the global market saw that dip, likely profit-taking, Vietnam's local prices on the same day actually edged up.
Up. So the opposite trend?
Yeah, just slightly, averaging around 108,000 dong per kilo. Some areas like Lam Dong saw, 800 dong increase, kind of bucking the global trend there.
Okay, that is interesting. A global dip, but a local rise in Vietnam. So what's behind that? What's making these markets move in opposite directions?
Well, the global dip, like I said, seemed mostly like profit-taking. People selling after 3 pretty strong sessions.
Wide sense, cashing in.
Exactly. But there's more. The U.S. inflation data, the CPI for July 2025, came in a bit lower than forecasts. Overall, 2.7% year-on-year.
Okay, and how does that play into coffee prices?
Well, softer inflation fuels hope, that the U.S. Federal Reserve might cut interest rates, maybe in September.
Right, and a potential rate cut usually weakens the dollar.
Precisely. The U.S. dollar index, the DXY, weakened, and a weaker dollar generally supports commodity prices, though in this case, profit-taking seemed to win out for the day.
Gotcha. Anything else? Brazil.
Yeah, the Brazilian real was actually quite strong against the dollar, which can sometimes pressure coffee prices down too. And there was some talk of frost in Brazil, Cerrado Mineiro region. But apparently it was pretty mild, not severe enough to really shake the market prices.
Okay, beyond those sort of market mechanics, there are bigger geopolitical things happening too, right? Like, I saw this note about the U.S.
Oh, yes, the tariff.
A 50% tariff on some Brazilian goods. That sounds significant. How is that affecting coffee?
It is significant, and you're seeing the effect already. Some U.S. buyers are reportedly pausing their Brazilian coffee imports, temporarily at least.
Wow, so what does that mean for Brazil's exports?
Well, if you connect the dots, Brazil's coffee exports for July 2025, they plummeted, down 28.1% compared to July 2024.
28%, that's a massive drop.
It really is. And Brazilian exporters, they're definitely feeling the pressure, concerns about, interest rates, storage costs, price caps, and now this tariff on top. It's a tough situation.
So while Brazil faces that challenge, how's Vietnam doing amidst all this?
Vietnam's story, especially this year, is quite different. Really impressive, actually.
Yeah. Tell us more.
For the first 7 months of 2025, Vietnam exported about 1.1 million tons of coffee.
Okay, that sounds like a lot.
It is. And the value, over $6 billion US. That's a 66% increase in value compared to the same time in 2024.
66% increase. Wow. Where's it all going?
Europe's still the major market. Took in about 670,000 tons, worth around $3.6 billion.
So Vietnam's doing incredibly well on the export front. Does that U.S. tariff situation affect them at all?
Well, there's talk of potential U.S. tariffs on Vietnamese goods too, maybe around 20%, which is obviously a challenge they're watching.
Right.
But it also, interestingly, might be creating opportunities for Vietnam elsewhere. Like you see, Brazil just got approval for 183 businesses to export coffee to China. Vietnam might see similar opening.
Well, diversifying markets.
Exactly. And Vietnam's really pushing to get its coffee quality recognized globally. They're aiming for a consistent high price, that 100,000 VND per kilo mark. It's also interesting, domestic consumption in Vietnam is still relatively low, maybe only 15% of production. And their coffee association, VCOFA, is pushing to get coffee beans exempted from VAT, value-added tax, to help producers.
Okay, so we've got market prices, trade wars, export booms. What about us, the coffee drinkers? Any surprising trends there?
Oh, definitely. Here's a fascinating one from the U.S. Instant coffee.
Instant coffee. Really? I thought that was kind of fading.
Not at all. Sales have surged, up 24% in the last 2 years.
24%. Wow. Who's buying it?
Get this. Gen Z. They've apparently doubled their spending on instant since 2022.
Doubled. Why the sudden love for instant?
Well, the word is the quality has improved drastically. And, it's often cheaper than cafe coffee. Convenience and price, maybe.
Huh. Okay, instant coffee comeback. Didn't see that coming. Anything else surprising?
Yes. One more thing, shifting gears a bit towards health.
Okay, coffee and health, always a hot topic.
Right. So, new research suggests that having about 200 milligrams of caffeine, that's maybe 2 cups of coffee for some, before sleep.
Before sleep. Isn't that supposed to keep you awake?
You'd think, but this study suggests it can actually increase brain activity during sleep and reduce those slow NREM sleep waves.
Increase brain activity while sleeping.
Seems like it. And interestingly, the strongest effects were seen in younger adults, specifically the 20 to 27 age group.
That is unexpected. Makes you rethink that evening cup, doesn't it?
Mhm.
So wrapping this up, it's clear coffee isn't just a simple drink. It's tied into global economics, trade policy, shifting consumer tastes, even our brain activity while we sleep.
Absolutely. It touches so many different areas, from the farmer dealing with frost risk and tariffs to the Gen Z kid rediscovering instant coffee to, well, how our brains process caffeine overnight.
It really gives you a lot to think about.
It does. So maybe the next time you have your coffee, you can appreciate all those complex forces swirling in your cup. Knowing the story behind it, I think, really does enrich the whole experience.